Hello and welcome to another mini nutrition lesson. Today we are talking about fueling your fitness. This is going to be a short but information-packed lesson. So go ahead and grab some paper and a pen and take some notes. So true or false, you need extra calories when you work out. This is actually false in most cases. For the duration and type of activity that most of us are doing, we don't need any extra calories. We're getting enough with what we eat regularly. True or false? Eating before a workout will slow down weight loss. This is actually false. Eating before a workout improves your workout and therefore will lead to more weight loss for most of us. Of course, there's a balance to be done there, but in general, you want to fuel before a workout. You need extra protein to build muscle. Again, this one is false. Protein is, of course, necessary to build muscle, but most of us eat more protein than we really need. Now, of course, that would require that you know how much you're taking in and how much you need, so definitely worth exploring. But in general, most of us eat a pretty good diet full of protein. We don't need any extra. It's just the timing that matters. And lastly, protein is a good energy source. This is false. Protein is an excellent way to rebuild muscle. However, it is a very poor choice for energy. Fat and carbs are actually the preferred fuel source. So everybody has their own unique needs. So that might be for weight loss, it might be performance. It would be impossible to give all of the recommendations here in this format. So absolutely, if you have a specific goal in mind, go ahead and seek the guidance of a registered dietitian and you'll get your very own nutrition prescription so you know exactly what you need to do. So let's talk about pre-workout nutrition. What is the point? So when we are fueling before we work out, we're actually fueling the workout. So we eat to fuel the workout so that we can support the performance that we want to do. All right? We are trying to make sure that we have the energy to get through and to do the best that we can so that we're not tired halfway through. There is some debate about fasted or fed state pre-workout, and my experience has been that it depends on you and what you're doing again and what your goal is. Many people, don't want to have a full stomach if they're going for a half marathon run. Some people would prefer to have a full stomach before they run. Some people experience stomach cramps or whatever. So you would really need to consider how you feel and where your performance is best. Now, as far as weight loss or what your outcome is going to be, is building muscle or whatever, fasted and fed state tend to be pretty similar. It just basically rules how you're going to perform. So again, you need to consider what you're doing and how long you're doing it for, and then you would be better able to answer those questions. So to summarize here, when you are pre-fueling your workout, it's so that you have energy to get from the start to the finish of your workout. And of course, let's not forget water. You absolutely need to hydrate. So again, depending on how long you're working out, make sure that you have some water available. What are we trying to accomplish with post-workout nutrition? So we are trying to rebuild. If pre-workout is to fuel, post-workout is to replenish. So we are replenishing glycogen stores. We are providing the raw materials for muscle building. We are giving the body what it needs to heal and to build so that we limit the risk of injury. And again, don't forget your water because you are going to need to replenish the losses from sweat and breathing and everything that we do when we're working out. So I keep saying that there's a difference, right? So an athlete or a weekend warrior, to be honest, most of us are casual exercisers. So we are just going for a walk or, doing an occasional class, something like that. That doesn't require any change in your nutrition whatsoever. However, if you are an athlete, so this is exercising more than an hour every single day, upwards of 2-3 hours a day most days, then you definitely need to consider your nutrition, and that should be your primary focus. However, most of us are not there because we have lives to live and jobs to go to. Now, the weekend warrior could be somebody who is training on their off time. Maybe they spend an hour in the gym every night, or perhaps they are training for a marathon or a triathlon, something like that. Absolutely, there again, your nutrition does matter. But for most of us, it's not going to be that big of an issue. All right. So the way that you know that your nutrition is suffering are these four things. Does it take you longer than it should to recover? So for instance, if you go for a run and it takes you 3 days to recover from that, odds are very good you did not fuel correctly or you overdid it somehow. If you are extremely hungry the next day, that is a sign that your body is struggling to keep up. Extreme fatigue later that day or the next, again, just like with the hunger, if you're really, really hungry or really, really tired, that's a sign. And injury not caused by physical causes. So I'm not talking about the injuries from you dropped a weight on your foot or you had an injury playing hockey or something like that. I'm talking about like a strained muscle that you really have no explanation for, or feeling stretched tendons or something like that. These kinds of injuries might indicate that you have not fueled correctly for your workouts. So let's talk pre and post. So this is where the information is, right? So for your pre-workout, like I said, you're trying to fuel, and a good source of fuel are simple carbs. Now, I do not recommend a high fiber carb before a workout for GI implications. You don't want to have an upset stomach or have the fiber cause you to have to go to the bathroom halfway through a run, right? So you want to consider those things, but you're looking for fuel with a small amount of protein. Remember, protein is not a good source of fuel. Simple carbs with protein. These might be something like chocolate milk, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, granola bar, a banana with some almond butter or peanut butter, a fruit smoothie, heavy on the fruit, or oatmeal. These are all really great pre-workout snacks. Now, the post-workout, your focus is rebuilding, so you want to focus on protein with a little bit of carbs to give you the energy to do that. So post-workout, hard-boiled eggs and orange juice, or hard-boiled eggs and a piece of toast, whatever your preference might be. Protein smoothie, heavy on the protein, light on the fruit on that one. Grilled chicken wrap or some kind of sandwich with a protein base to it, right? It could be a salad with, if you don't eat meat, it could be a salad with beans or lentils, something like that. Greek yogurt is great. It's usually got a higher protein content. Pairing that with some berries would be a great alternative for you. Peanut butter protein balls. You could get your recipes off of Pinterest for something like this. They usually are high protein, high fat. So that's usually a really good way to replenish the nutrient reserves. So as promised, this was a short and sweet one, just giving you a really high level overview of ways that you fuel and when you do and don't need to. Remember that the casual exerciser does not need to fuel either before, after, or after. What we eat generally for our regular meals is usually enough. Thank you so much for joining me on this lesson today. And if you have any questions, that's the perfect opportunity to reach out and ask your registered dietitian.